So we just got the second episode of The Gifted, and I think we got another very solid episode, and I'm very excited about where this TV show is going. Just so you know, with this particular review, with these week-to-week episode reviews of shows, I'm going to go into spoilers and discuss what happens, because either you watch the show or you don't. I'm not giving you a recommendation or to watch it, just my thoughts on the specific episode, with the assumption that you've watched it and you want to talk about it with someone, and I want to talk about it with you. So be sure to give me your thoughts down below in the comment section, what you're thinking about the show, where it's going, all that fun stuff. All right, with that said, let's kind of dive into what happened. So we got several different plot lines going on, really four main plot lines going on. First one is that after the events of the first episode, Blink was injured. She was drained because of what happened, and so she's kind of unconscious, and she's lost control of her powers, and things are freaking out. Portals are appearing everywhere, and they can't kind of get her under control. Running along those same lines to help try and save her, Caitlin Strucker goes with Eclipse to try and get medical supplies to try and help her out, calm her down, make her no longer launch all these crazy portals everywhere. Then we move over to Polaris is in prison, as we saw from the very beginning of the first episode, and she's being harassed prison style in prison. That's a pretty dumb thing to say, because that's where prison style happens. So she's in prison, people are harassing her, so you're kind of getting a vibe of some of the prison type stuff going on in there, and the dynamics of it, and you find out that she's got pregnant, bunning a baby in the oven, all that fun stuff, and she's being harassed over it, and it's pretty brutal stuff, like as far as it went with where they're like, oh, we're gonna start kicking in the stomach. I was not expecting this show to go that hardcore this fast. I'm on board for it, but wasn't quite expecting that. And then we got Reed Strucker is being interrogated by Agent Turner. Agent Turner being the guy on the show that right now I just love to hate, and can't wait for him to, get what's coming to him, and or he'll turn sides or something. Something like that's coming with his character. But he's that character that believes in what he's doing, even though he clearly knows it's wrong, and he just gets so mad at him for what's going on. All right, so talking about the good of what happened in this one, or really just talking about the first two shows, how far we're into it, I thought it was a solid episode because they found a way to find tension in each one of the different storylines. Each of our characters are in a scenario where there is tension. So you've got Blink going on, and she's out of control of her powers, so naturally she's opening portals, and people are like, hey, what are you doing here? And so they're trying to figure out, why does the portal, like I was wondering that, why does this portal keep opening in the same spot? And that's the question at the end of the episode. So they coming up with clever ways to create tension in that situation with these portals, because there's all kinds of portals they could be opening up that who cares where they're opening up, but they're putting a reason in it for why they're opening up somewhere that's dangerous, that's exposing them. So that creates a tension and an urgency right there. On the Caitlin Strucker Eclipse side, where they're trying to get the medical supplies, obviously they're sneaking into a hospital trying to get stuff. So there's a fun tension. That's some interesting dynamics there. With Polaris in prison, prison's not a nice place, and so they're showing that even amongst mutants, there's all the prejudice, frustrations there, so tension is going on. And then a totally different dynamic with Strucker versus Turner and those interrogations. You get tension, the back and forth, and so throughout the whole show, there's no wasted scenes. There's nothing where you're just kind of like, okay, just giving us some exposition. No, there's tension and action to all of it, and I'm thinking about it, that's kind of. There's a sense to which this show doesn't immediately have a big action or some of the stuff that would be really cool to me. It has action, it does. It has set pieces, but there's things about this show that wouldn't naturally appeal to me. And I'm like, why do I like this so much? And it's because it's crafted properly. Where there's tension, there's not useless scenes. People aren't just sitting around talking about information that we need to know. They show things. The show explores prejudice, bigotry, racism through storytelling, so it doesn't feel like you're being lectured. You're exploring ideas through stories and made-up scenarios. That's good storytelling. That's good television. And then it's a TV show that has a limited budget. Obviously, everything has a limited budget, but TV shows obviously are far more limited than movies, so there's only so many things they can do, and they found a way to have good, cool mutant action going on throughout the whole episode that they can do on their budget by having kind of this cool portal thing, and portals can do cool things. They've got the video game Portal, and it's interesting based off the simple idea of when you can put portals bouncing all around. That's pretty cool. They do that with a character in this, and it's it's out of control, frantic, what's happening. And so it's interesting. They're doing something fun with what you can do with the effects, their budget, and all that fun stuff. And then finally, on the positives, there's no weak performers. There's no one that you're like, I don't like them. I like all the characters. It's well-rounded. There's a lot of interest to each one of them. They each bring something new to the table. They each give a different perspective to the events, the worldview, the ideas being discussed with prejudice that's so common in X-Men. They got all those different ingredients going on, and no one feels like they're out of place thus far. They all feel like they have a nice spot in it. I don't really have anything bad to say. I have a little bit of fear with kind of the amount of discussions where people are like, well, if it wasn't your kids, would you even care about it? I can see that getting old fast when you're talking about 24 episodes, 20 episodes per season. But that's a theoretical, maybe I'll get bored potentially in the future if they keep doing something. That's a lot of potentials and ifs, so that's not really a negative. All in all, this is shaping up to be a very solid show that I think they're have a great kickoff to this show, heading in a very good direction. First 2 episodes definitely have me on board and I'm planning on start telling people about this show. Like, hey, have you checked out The Gifted? It's a neat little show that's very watchable. It's accessible, and so all around. Big thumbs up from me on this one. How about you guys? What did you think about it? Tell me down below in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts on it. If you're new to my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button. I do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos. But the key thing is I don't want to just talk about movies and TV. I want to talk about movies and TV with you. So join me in the comment section. What did you think about the show? Let me know down there. And as always, thank you so much for watching.